Hey guys, so recently Equestria Daily has released a summer achievements for 2015, and I was curious to see if I can get all of these achievements for this year. So I was thinking, why not document them for all to see in this quest for excellence? It's like Achievement Hunter, hence the name of the series. What we'll be doing is we will be going in order from fanfiction, to music, to videos, to traditional and video games, to art, to official comics, to community, to Equestria Daily stuff, and finally MISC. That is a lot of stuff, but hopefully we can get it all. Since summer vacation usually lasts till the end of August, I will say that my deadline for these summer achievements will be August 31st. The total amount of points right now is 4,225, and I hope to get a good amount of them. I hope you guys follow me in this series till the end, and let's get started with fanfictions. Alright, so I figured, since we're going to be reading some fanfictions, might as well get the bad stuff out of the way. So we're going to be reading some erotica, just to get that out of the way. Because if I'm going to be reading some fanfictions, you got to read at least one erotica in your life. Because if you haven't read an erotica yet, I don't know what you're doing, man. Come on. Get in the Rule 34 train. So what we're going to be reading is we're going to be reading My Little Pony, Friendship is Sexy. Alright, here we go. This is made by Punjoke, and this is on a So Furry site. Not my best interest. Alright. We gotta get in the mood. Hopefully this is 1,500 words. I'm pretty sure it is. Wait, does it say? I think it says. Nah, I'm gonna guess it's 1,500 words. For you guys, I'll even count. But, let's get started. Alright. Part 1. We really don't have time for this, Twilight Sparkle hissed under her breath. Make up an excuse, Spike. Tell them. You have a stomach ache. The baby dragon rolled his eyes. Twilight, he sighed. Can't you just enjoy yourself for one afternoon? You're supposed to be making new friends. Twilight Sparkle and Spike have come to Sweet Apple Acres to oversee preparations for the Summer Sun celebration banquet. Instead, they had met Applejack, a spunky tomboy of a pony who had immediately gone about introducing themselves to the entire Apple family before inviting them to a brunch that had turned into a banquet in its own right. There'll be plenty of time to make friends after we save Equestria from Nightmare Moon, Twilight responded testily. Rising up from her plate of apple pie, she trotted over to where Applejack was, just finishing her own meal. Listen, Applejack, the meal was wonderful, but Spike and I really have to go now. To be going now. Applejack looked up from under her large hat and shot a large grin back at her. Well, shucks, Miss Twilight. We can't let y'all leave just yet. The fun's just getting started. Twilight shuffled her hooves uncomfortably, wondering how to extract herself from this situation. When she suddenly realized that the members of the Apple family had all finished their desserts and were now beginning to get a little too playful with each other. Twilight gasped in embarrassment as she saw that Apple Fritter and Red Galler were entwined with each other on the ground with their noses stuck between each other's hind legs. The young mares were completely oblivious to everything around them as they licked each other lovingly. Now it's really time for us to go, Twilight said nervously. But Applejack just laughed and gave her a smack on her violet rump. Nonsense, little lady. It's time we showed y'all just what kind of fun we have here at Sweet Apple Acres. Oh god. Twilight stiffened as Applejack circled around behind her and forwardly pushed her multicolored tail away with her nose, exposing the pony's rear to her tongue. Oh my gosh! Twilight exclaimed sharply as she felt Applejack's tongue slither up the length of her sensitive slit. She jumped away skittishly in an attempt to cover herself with her tail. Don't worry, sugar. Come on, let's have some fun with us, Applejack called after Twilight. As Red Delicious and Golden Delicious walked up and began nuzzling her. She giggled as the two brothers licked at her neck. Oh, was gonna give Twilight first pick, darlings, but I guess we need to show her what she's missing. Twilight's eyes were were drawn down to the large erections that Red and Golden were sporting almost against her will. Oh, shit. For a moment, she pictured one of the boys mounting her from behind, and Twilight quickly pushed the image out of her mind as something else occurred to her. Wait a minute, Applejack. Aren't they your family? Applejack had begun to lick the two ponies' back, but she flashed Twilight a big smile. Ah, heck, cousin, brother, sister, it's all the same here at Sweet Apple Acres. We're a right close and loving family. Oh, God. With that, Applejack rolled over onto her side and stuck her head underneath Red Delicious's belly. Red lifted one leg off the ground to give Applejack better access as she began to lick along the length of his large shaft. Oh no! Okay. Lapping up the bead of thick pre-cum forming on the head of his cock, she savored the taste before exclaiming, Is this for real? Sweet as always, cousin. Okay. Applejack lifted one of her hind legs into the air to allow Golden Delicious access to her wet crotch as she continued to lick her cousin's stiff cock. Oh, God. Golden Dove, and immediately his large tongue working eagerly along the lips of her pussy before flicking playfully at her clit, causing Applejack to shudder and moan in delight. Twilight watched awkwardly as Red Delicious repositioned himself so that his long cock pointed directly at Applejack's face. The blonde pony looked up at him and said, "Come on, cousin, give me all you got," before taking the head into her mouth and bobbing back and forth. Red threw his head and pushed forward, burying more of his cock in Applejack's mouth while she did her best to deep throat as much of it as she could. Once he'd gotten as far as Applejack could handle, he held it there for a moment as he enjoyed the feeling of the mare's wet mouth squeezing around his cock before reluctantly pulling himself out and allowing her to breathe again. After a quick break, Applejack went back to licking and sucking him with great enthusiasm. Finally, Red cried out, "I'm gonna come, cousin!" Before once again ramming as much as he could down her throat, Applejack stretched out her long neck to accommodate his length and closed her eyes as Red shot his load of thick pony cum directly into her stomach. When Red was just about done, he pulled out of her throat. A few final spurts of cum shot out into her open mouth, as well as across her freckled face. Oh no. Golden Delicious stepped away and licked the sweet juices from his lips as Applejack stood. Twilight began to back away as the blonde pony approached her purposefully, but there was no escape. Applejack forced Twilight into a passionate kiss as she shared the cum she hadn't already swallowed. What am I reading? Shit. The kiss lasted only a moment before Twilight jerked back, but to her surprise, she found the taste of Red's to be delicious. Twilight hesitantly swallowed what she had in her mouth, feeling very conflicted. Well, Maybe we can stay a little longer, Twilight said as she watched Applejack lick the rest of her cousin's cum off her lips. What the fuck, Applejack? I knew you'd come around, sugar, Applejack said as she circled around Twilight again. This time the purple pony leaned the front of her body down towards the ground while pushing her rump higher into the air and presented herself to Applejack with a flick of her tail. Twilight shuddered a bit and bit her lip as she felt the orange mare's tongue lap up and down the lips of her pussy before pushing its way inside of her. Applejack moaned with delight and shoved her tongue in deeper as golden delicious. Not content to just stand by and watch, nuzzled her rear end before jumping up and mounting her. His long cock slid into her easily, and as he began to thrust wildly, Applejack's face was pressed even harder against Twilight's soaked pussy. Oh no. This can't be happening. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Oh my god, okay. After a few minutes, Applejack stopped licking to shout out, "Come on, cousin, you can go faster than that." I had Luna here the whole time. I'm gonna put her down. This is too much for you. You need to watch that shit. Oh man. Golden Delicious redoubled his efforts as he did his best to pound the horny pony beneath him. Oh yeah, now you're getting in deep. This was just after she just ate. She's like plump as fuck now. She's plump. Oh my god. Oh shit. Twilight felt a twinge of disappointment as Applejack's attention turned entirely to the fucking she was receiving. Her dripping cunt burned with desire as she stepped back to watch the horny ponies. Suddenly she felt somebody brush up against her and, turning, found Big Macintosh smiling at her. Oh no. Don't. Applejack looked up at her, panting. "We ain't gonna leave you hanging, Sugar Cube. You're our guest of honor, and that means you get Big Mac." She did not just say that. She did not just say that. Oh no. I don't even know what to say to this. This is what, I don't know if this is good writing or bad writing. Cause like I'm the kind of person that's like, you know, I'm all up for saucy pics, saucy writing and shit. As long as it fits the character, it's kind of fitting. But this is too ridiculous, guys. Alright, let me continue. This is only part 1. I think I'm only gonna read 2 parts and that's it. Cause that's gotta be over 1,500 words. Stealing a peek, Twilight saw that Big Mac did indeed live up to his name. He was so well hung, in fact, that the purple pony started to have second thoughts. I'm not sure if this is a good idea, she said, pawing the ground nervously. Aw shucks, Big Mac's real gentle, Applejack reassured her, punctuating her sentence with a long moan. Nodding towards a nearby tree, she said, "Just brace yourself up over yonder, and I promise you he'll show you a real good time." This Western talk is too much. I'm trying. With butterflies in her stomach. Oh no, she's fucking excited for this? With butterflies in her stomach, Twilight walked over to the tree and placed her front hooves against its trunk while standing up on her hind legs. Then she shut her eyes and tried not to clench up as Big Mac strutted over to her. The red pony's powerful front legs gripped her torso as he jumped up onto her. Twilight gasped as she felt the head of his massive cock push against her opening. At first it seemed like it wouldn't fit, but with one powerful thrust, Big Mac's massive shaft sunk home. Oh my god, did he just say sunk home? Like, Big Mac's massive shaft sunk home. Man. Oh, that feels really good. I can't believe Twilight grunted. You can go faster if you want. Nah. Oh my, Big Mac obligated. As his pace began to quicken, Twilight felt the weight of his sturdy body press her against the trunk of the tree, and his front legs dig into her sides as he fucked her roughly. Warm juices, a mix of her own lubrication and Big Mac's thick pony cum, ran down her hind legs. Finally, she gave in completely. Do I have to say that? Please fuck me, Big Mac. Harder, she begged. Applejack smiled, satisfied to see that her new friend had given in to her pleasure. Then, turning her attention back to her own situation, she said, "Let's switch, cousin." Golden Delicious dismounted from her reluctantly. It was only a moment before Applejack had rolled onto her back. However, her tight pussy, orange on the outside and pink on the inside. Did we really need to know that? Did we really need to know that? No. Was dripping wet as she looked up at him with all four of her legs spread wide. Golden Delicious climbed back on top of her, immediately thrusting the entirety of his long pony cock into his cousin's inviting hole and eliciting a long moan from her as he bent his neck down to look at her face. Oh man. I mean, oh man, this has gotta be hot to one person. It's trying. I'll give it that, it's trying. It really is trying. It's trying so hard. Although Twilight had become lost almost entirely in the rough fucking she was receiving from Big Mac, her eyes opened slightly as she saw Red Delicious standing off to the side, his cock fully erected against as he watched. A naughty thought struck her, and her unicorn horn began to glow slightly. The young pony gasped in surprise as he felt an unexpected pressure run up and down the length of his erection, and Twilight smiled to herself. It's like every paragraph has surprised me with something so ridiculous, I couldn't even think of it. You're the tightest pony I've ever had, Miss Twilight. I'm gonna take these headphones off. I'm gonna take them off. I don't deserve the fucking... Oh my god. Oh god. Okay. Big Mac grunted as he gave her an especially hard thrust, causing her to shudder. Then he added, "Except for my sister, of course." And Applejack shot him a look. Oh man, he couldn't leave his sister hanging. He had to compliment her too, right? The orange pony smiled and winked at her brother. Then she gasped and let out a long moan, wrapping all four of her legs tightly around Golden Delicious to keep him buried deep inside of her as she began to come. "Fill me up, darling," she encouraged as the insides of her cunt squeezed his shaft urgently. It was more than the poor pony could take, and Applejack felt his cock bulge slightly as he began to come. The two ponies shook as they shared a powerful orgasm. Golden Delicious unloaded his thick pony cum into her, and soon it was running down her rump and into her tail as it spilled out of her. Damn. When Golden Delicious was spent, he untangled himself and pulled out, leaving his cousin lying exhausted on the ground with her legs splayed as a big smile on her face. Red Delicious approached her stiffly, groaning as Twilight got him off with her unicorn magic. Applejack turned her head towards him just in time to catch his first massive blast of cum directly in her face. Jet after jet of warm cum sprayed over Applejack, coating her entire body. By the time he was finished, the orange cow pony was dripping head to hoof with the sweet, sticky substance. This is just... She's a fucking ghost now. Just let it happen, guys. She's a ghost, like, cause she's white, you get it? Cause she's so covered in cum that you could pretty much call her a ghost. You get it? Oh no. Twilight felt herself beginning to go over the edge as well as Big Mac pounded her relentlessly. Sandwiched between the powerful pony and the trunk of the apple tree, she bit her lip and did her best to stay standing as she felt her legs weaken. This situation seemed totally unreal to the bookish mare as she experienced an explosive orgasm. Big Mac continued to thrust deeply, pumping Twilight full of cum as she convulsed uncontrollably underneath him. When they had both finished, Big Mac pulled out and stepped away as Twilight slumped down against the tree with her tongue lolling out of her mouth. Her hind legs were open wide, exposing her cum-covered and well-fucked backside. At this point, Twilight was beyond caring who saw. As Twilight recovered her strength, she felt several tongues lap at her cunt. Looking back lazily, she saw that Apple Fritter and Red Gala were enthusiastically gathering up the cum oozing from her pussy. When they had gotten their fill of it, the two ponies turned and gave each other a cum-swapped kiss as the Delicious brothers mounted both of them from behind. What? Is this the perfect orgy? Is this what people dream about? Is this... what? Oh my god. Nearby, Applejack had cleaned up a bit and was hungrily lapping at her brother's cock as it slowly began to come back to life. Did this compare it to a living... Rolling over and rising to her feet again, Twilight sighed contently. Her visit to Sweet Apple Acres had been more fun than she thought, but it really was time to go. As she trotted away, Applejack raised her head of Big Mac's cock and yelled out, "It sure was nice meeting you, Twilight. Y'all come back anytime now." Picking her way through the... what the... Rousus... Raucous. Yeah, someone pronounce that for me. Rouse's orgy. Twilight finally managed to track down Spike. When she finally found him, he was energetically banging away at a tiny pony with a big pink ball that she recalled was named Apple Bloom. "Spike," said Twilight with a disapproving frown. "She's way too young to be having sex." "So am I," replied the baby dragging smoothly. "She wanted it, and she's too small to handle any of the other ponies," he argued as Twilight rolled her eyes. "I'm almost finished, then we'll go," Spike said as he slapped Apple Bloom's ass. Causing the little pony to squeal in delight. The two youngsters continued to go at it wildly until Spike pulled out and started to jerk his scaled cock. Apple Blue spun around immediately and opened her mouth as Spike threw back his head and gave her a messy facial.
When he was done, cum was splattered all along her face and mane and was dripping out of her filled mouth. Even her pink bow was completely covered in the stuff. Spike barely had time to say goodbye before Twilight's magic whisked him onto her back. "I'll come visit again," he cried out after Applebloom as the two of them trotted away. What was that? What was that?
Well, that was part 1. That I didn't... Do I have to... How many parts is this? Hold on. It's 4 parts. Okay. I have to read the whole fanfiction, though. I have to read it. So, if you guys liked it, come join me in part 2. I can't wait to see the sexual adventures Twilight will get into herself this time. Yeah! Alright, guys. I'll see you in the next part. See ya.